If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
In this bulletin, Fiji and India relations to further strengthen with state visit. Some disruptions expected for motorists in Suva tomorrow. And no ransom paid for release of soldiers. Good evening, Fiji. I'm Edwin Nand. Bilateral discussions and signing of agreements between Fiji and India are on the agenda of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit. Modi is scheduled to arrive in Nosori tomorrow morning. Watisoni Raikandroka reports.
The Foreign Affairs Ministry has been at the forefront planning for the event since Prime Minister Modi's visit was confirmed recently.
His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi is arriving tomorrow for a one-day visit to Fiji. At the backhand of the G20 summit in Brisbane, Australia. The program has been tailor-made for one day, so it is quite an important and significant visit for Fiji.
One of the items on the agenda is bilateral talks with Prime Minister Porenge Bainimarama.
As the program has rolled out, he will have his bilaterals with our Prime Minister. And as well as he's addressing, there's a special session of Parliament also that he would be addressing. And then he's meeting with the Pacific Island leaders, or PCIDS leaders, who are here at the moment to also have a bilateral as well as collective meetings with Prime Minister Modi.
The Indian Prime Minister is also scheduled to speak on Pacific Islands and India's trade and diplomacy at FNU in the afternoon. Modi will also be hosted to a state dinner before he flies out of Nosori late tomorrow night. Watisoni Rekanroka, FBC News.
Members of the public in the Greater Suva area can expect some disruption to their travel time tomorrow with the temporary closure of some roads for the visit of the Indian Prime Minister. Shanal Sivan has the details.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives at the Nosori airport very early tomorrow morning. To facilitate his visit, authorities have announced that some roads will be temporarily closed. These include the Wainimbokasi Road and the Kings Highway, Thakambau Road, Southern Cross Road, Victoria Parade from Southern Cross Road to Thakambau Road, Queen Elizabeth Drive from the junction of Ratu Sukuna Road.
Now the 6 to 8 a.m. Traffic movement from along the Suva-Nosori corridor. This is from Wainimbokasi Road at Nosori Airport through to Kings Road down to Grand Pacific Hotel. Basically that will be rolling roadblock, so it will close as the motorcade and delegation comes through, and as soon as it passes it will reopen again. So it's not going to be closed for the full 2 hours.
The public has been advised to expect delays and to allow for extra travel time when traveling in the area or to plan travel into Suva using alternative routes during the indicated times.
For all the times it's localized, right? So between the 6 to 8 a.m. there'll be one closure, and this will be early morning. The next closure, which we've got 9 to 1 p.m. this is around Parliament Building. This is in particular for the address that will be made at Albert Park, which everybody is welcome to attend. I would suggest they come in early to avoid disappointment, around there it's localized with whatever movements are going on between Parliament, between Albert Park and the Grand Pacific Hotel. So again, these are intermittent and temporary road closures. It's not full and throughout the whole day.
The public can also use footpaths to welcome Modi.
We're looking at people who want to line the route. We're looking at the areas where road closures will take place to accommodate the commuters when they come into town in the morning. So everything's been planned with some degree of precision. Otherwise, you know, Suva's going to come to a standstill And we don't want that.
Modi will be accorded to a traditional welcome here at the Albert Park in Suva tomorrow morning, and we will bring you the live coverage of the ceremony as well as his address to the parliament at 9 a.m. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
Fiji's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates has refuted international media reports that Al-Qaeda-linked militants were paid $20 million in ransom to release 45 Fijian peacekeepers whom they held captive. Robin Nair, who's in the country for the heads of mission consultations, spoke to our journalist Akosita Tale. Obviously, that wasn't Mr. Robin Nair, but a story about how Narendra Modi visited cities in Australia and spoke to his supporters. He was, in fact, crisscrossing across 3 cities in Australia and addressed the Australian Parliament as well as a crowd of 16,000 people on the eve of his visit to Fiji. And that was a report from NDTV of India. Now, going back to our earlier story, the Fijian ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, Mr. Robin Nair, says there was no ransom paid for the release of Fijian soldiers. Here's the story.
The capture of the Fijian peacekeepers in September grabbed local and international attention. Their release after about 2 weeks was also widely reported.
I just wanted to debunk one allegation that's being made, and I see it around being bandied around in Fiji, that $20 million was paid to get the release of this our soldiers. I want to say that's rubbish, and nothing like that happened. No talk of money ever took place.
Nair says it was the close relationship that Fiji shared with the Qatar government that made the release easier.
So we had a strategy to go and see and bilaterally meet the leaders of that country to say, look, if we can help them, because they're all Arab countries, they all deal with each other, and they deal with some of these groups in that opposition forces. So we had to be able to have a relationship with them.
The ambassador says it was diplomacy and the access Fiji had towards the leaders of the region. It was also the acknowledgement and the regard Qatar had for the Fijian government and the troops for what they had been doing in the Arab region since 1978.
The capture of the soldiers was not expected, and when it happened, we had to, of course, get their release, because these people are there not fighting anybody, they're peacekeepers. So we were very concerned that peacekeepers were put in harm's way in that way.
After their release, a Middle East-based newspaper, Ashaq al-Aswad, had reported that Syrian opposition sources allegedly said Qatar paid militants from the Al-Nusra Front in return for the release of our 45 peacekeepers. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Coming up, first locally conducted hearing surgery to be conducted next week.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। हाय मिर्ची एफएम पर मैं हूं जितेंद्र शांडिल। शामिल हो जाएगा हमारे साथ टुनाइट शो में Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Mirchi FM. It's fun. But you're never gonna get it. तेरे हाथ से कभी ना आनी।
Welcome back. Preparations are also underway for the visit of President of China, Xi Jinping, to Nandi on Friday. Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Amineh Avoli, says Xi will be on a 3-day state visit.
He's coming in for a 3-day visit, arriving on Friday afternoon and returning on Sunday morning.
Avoli says bilateral talks will take place between the leaders of Fiji and China.
It's more or less to enhance our bilateral relations between the two countries of China and Fiji.
Several Pacific Island leaders will also be meeting the President of China in Nadi. The Asia-Pacific Broadcasting Union says broadcasters play a significant role in the social development of society. This week, Fiji is hosting the Pacific Media Partnership Conference, which was established by the ABU in 2010 to address challenges faced by Pacific Island broadcasters. Christopher Chand reports.
The conference is preceded by several workshops and meetings. It is jointly organized by the ABU and Pacific Media Partners.
Broadcasters' role is to provide public, accurate, independent, impartial and timely news and content. And by this, broadcasters would be able to win the trust of the public. This is, I would say, the most important asset for a broadcaster.
It's a platform for media personnel in the Pacific to share knowledge on how to improve and promote broadcasting in the region.
The Pacific Media Partnership Conference was established by ABU in 2010, and we thought that it is essential for the ABU to pay more attention to broadcasters and members and non-members in the Pacific Islands, so we established that in 2010.
One of the most significant changes that will occur in Fiji is the transformation of analog television to digital.
It covers new technology, going digital, which is a challenge for broadcasters in this region, and we are very determined to support our members in their shift from analog to digital, and that's why I'm personally here to talk to them.
The media landscape is continuously changing due to modern technology. Integrating these advances will help reach wider audiences, especially for the Pacific, where resources are limited. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
And we now join Christopher Chand live from our West Office. Chris, can you tell us how significant this conference is?
The Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union was formed in 1964. It is a non-profit professional association of broadcasting organizations. It currently has 200 members in 57 countries and regions, reaching a potential audience of about 3 billion people. The ABU's role is to help the development of broadcasting in the Asia Pacific region. It is increasingly recognized that broadcasting plays a major and important role in development as a widespread tool of information transfer, as a method to improve governance, as an important economic sector in its own right, and as a potential access point to new information and communications technologies.
Thanks for that, Chris. An 18-year-old student will be the first patient to benefit from a locally conducted ear surgery. Organized by the Caribbees Alliance, an operation to restore Rachel Dean's hearing will be conducted at the Suva Private Hospital next week. Savaira Tambua reports.
Giving birth to a child without ears was a time of anguish, but given an opportunity for her 18-year-old daughter to undergo a second operation in Fiji to restore her hearing, the girl's mother is joyous at the prospect.
It was a blessing from the Caribbees Alliance to my daughter, and it completely changed her life. So getting a second one would make a vast difference in her life again, and she is looking forward to it.
Director of Caribbees Alliance, Brownie Caribbees, who is the mother of a deaf child, says the operations not only benefit those with hearing problems, but they are also a way for an overseas specialist to teach local doctors.
The vision of the Caribbees Alliance has always been that it's got to be handed to the Fijians, because if it's just for me, it will die with me. And the vision has always been we want to educate the local Fijians, we want to equip them, we want to, be able to set up courses in audiology and speech pathology and start to create an infrastructure, a local infrastructure, where Fiji has their own, disability arm that can deal with these things.
A patient who benefited from the Caribbees program says it's something new for him.
It has benefited me, I won't be able to use my voice, but it has helped me to hear the sounds. Example, when I'm on the road, I will be able to hear the sound of the traffic, a car tooting or a buzz horn that will keep me safe on the road.
The Caribbees Alliance received almost $5 million from an organization in Canada to help provide hearing assistance for Fijians in 2007. Savaira Tambua, FBC News.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation has today launched its own production house, known as Studio 69. This is a giant leap in FBC TV's 3 years of existence, as a recent survey has shown the company has now become the #1 choice for viewers. Ritika Pratap reports.
FBC Chief Executive Riaz Sayed Kayum says after assessing and ensuring that there is enough resources, the company has launched its own production house. Studio 69 will be a one-stop shop for TV production.
Anything from church choirs to bands to music videos to ads for business houses to animation and a whole lot of other things. So it's quite a wide scope, and we have the talent and we have the resources to be able to do this now.
FBC TV has launched 3 new television programs, and Sayed Kayum says they're excited to bring new shows to the viewers.
Hindu mythological show called Mahadev, which will replace Mahabharat on Sundays. And that's going to start, and X Factor comes back again. It's extremely popular. So X Factor is a musical show, as you know, that comes back. And for the first time in Fiji, we will have boxing, international boxing, 2 hours of it, in fact, every Friday night in our Friday night sports evening program.
Sayed Kayum says the broadcaster is also working on some new local programs for the new year. FBC TV has also a new product for its sales team called the Insomniacs, which started from the first week of this month.
It's regular TV programs from 12:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. So overnight, if you're not able to sleep, nowadays if you're not able to sleep at 2 in the morning, you wake up, you turn the TV on, and you get to watch Al Jazeera or Al Jazeera. So we want to give you a bit more than just Al Jazeera. We will have regular programs, our best programs that will be repeated overnight as well.
A major talent drive will also begin from next week, whereby you can send phone video of any talent that you may have.
If you think you're a great announcer, if you're good in front of the camera, you're a comedian, you can talk to a crowd, you're confident, and you're able to do things and perform, then we want you. We want you to be part of FBC, and we will have auditions, and we want, this will be announced next week, we want people to send in their videos, it'll be shortlisted, and then we will pick people from the shortlist and make them stars.
A recent survey has shown that FBC TV, with its 95% coverage in the country, is now the #1 choice of viewers. FBC TV's new slogan is, "You are #1 with us." Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
And this is news just to hand. The government says it's extremely disappointed that SODELPA has decided to boycott the special parliamentary meeting planned for the visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A statement says the visit is a national event, not a political one. The government says it's an opportunity for our nation to engage the leader of the world's largest democracy and one of Fiji's most important international partners in discussions which are crucial for Fiji's future. SODELPA claims it's been excluded from all the arrangements relating to the visit. However, the government says it has primary responsibility for the visit and the official discussions, but it has taken care to ensure that Prime Minister Modi experiences a visit with all the people of Fiji. And Akosita Tale joins us next for sports. Akosita, what do you have for us?
Coming up, Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football team goes down to Amical in OFC President's Cup clash, and Ben Ryan confident despite losing key players from the Sevens team. That's after the break.
Hey, how's it going, Fiji? You're the afternoon step with Josie. And of course, I've got more good hits lined up for you, so stay tuned for that. But right now, check this song out, man. It's Golden City coming out to 200 MDK, Ready for Your Love, right here on Today FM.
I'm ready for the start of something new. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love.
Living like a Fiji, I'm Josie, your host on the afternoon snap every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
I'm ready for my hands to touch the sky.
Good evening and welcome back to sports. The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football team lost their first match in the OFC President's Cup last night, going down to Vanuatu's Amical FC 3-0. Amikal started the match well and scored 2 goals to lead 2-0 at half-time. The Fijians came back well in the second half and applied a lot of pressure, but failed to break the opponent's defense. Here are the highlights.
The strength of the competition.
Oh, what a strike! What a wonderful strike. The flag's up. It's not going to count. And that's a good ball. Solawanga. He snatched at it. And it's a chance wasted. You can't afford. Very good ball for Masavakalo. Cuts across and a good goal for Amikal. Really come to grips with it to lead by a goal to 0. Grazia! It's 2-0. 38 minutes gone. And Amikal.
The team will take on Bahrain's Busaitin at 7:30 p.m. this Friday in the second match. Despite losing some of his most capable players, Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan is confident of a better performance at the Dubai and Port Elizabeth Sevens next month.
It wasn't just after Gold Coast that we lost, Apasai, Nangaleva and Stefano Saka. We also lost, Pio Tuwai, Samu Sangia. We've now lost Sitivani Wanga. There's a few that have gone, unfortunately. But, you look at our trio of forwards that remain, Jasavera Malua, Apasai Damalalai and Semi Kunatami, and those three are all absolutely playing some great stuff at the moment.
The 18-member squad is expected to be in camp tomorrow at the Uprising Resort in Pacific Harbour. At the Dubai Sevens on December 5th and 6th, Fiji is pooled with Argentina, France and Brazil. The Fiji Chess Federation is holding its annual National Teams Championship in Suva this weekend. The Federation believes this is the right time as they are encouraging the participation of school students. Rohit Deo has more.
The Fiji Chess Federation is doing its best to promote the minor sport amongst the young people. This week's event is a bit different as individuals will have to get together in teams to compete.
You can group up with any 3 players and 3 players can form a team. The good thing about this championship is you just don't look at individual strength, but you will have a team event. You have a group of 3 players playing in a chess team.
The best place for development of any sport is in the schools, but organizing events in schools is a lot to ask for. This is an opportunity for students as a lot of schools have taken part in previous years.
We have had good school teams from Mahatma Gandhi Memorial. We've had Marish Brothers High. There's been Bhavani Dayal and some other schools which have played very well, like Suva Grammar. They have good chess players. Now recently we have International Secondary, which has a good amount of chess players. So we're expecting a lot of schools to send their players to compete.
Competition begins at 9 a.m. on Sunday at Tapu City in Suva. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
And that was your sports for tonight. Back to you, Edwin.
HFC Bank customers will now be able to withdraw money from Westpac ATMs and make payments through its EFTPOS terminals. HFC Bank and Westpac have entered into an interchange agreement which is now in effect. Westpac customers with a handy card will also be able to withdraw from HFC Bank ATMs throughout Fiji. Customers will be charged separately for using this service, and it will apply to both banks. Generally fine weather prevailed over most of Fiji today. A trough of low pressure lies slow moving over Rotuma and extends eastwards over northern Cooks. Another trough of low pressure lies slow moving over Vanuatu. Temperatures reached a high ranging from 29 degrees to 32 degrees across the country. Lambasa and Ba recording 32 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast is expect fine weather tomorrow, apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the other larger islands. And the further outlook for Thursday, occasional showers over the northern parts of the group, interior and eastern parts of other larger islands, elsewhere possible afternoon or evening showers. And recapping our top stories, bilateral discussions and signing of agreements between Fiji and India are on the agenda of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit. Fiji's ambassador to the UAE has refuted international media reports that Al-Qaeda-linked militants were paid $20 million in ransom to release 45 Fijian peacekeepers whom they had held captive, and an 18-year-old student will be the first patient to benefit from a locally conducted hearing surgery. On to our poll question: is Fiji's recognition in the international fora improving? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's it from us. You can join us again tomorrow night. Don't forget to tune in to FBC TV tomorrow morning for the live coverage of the Indian Prime Minister's visit. We'll bring you live coverage starting around 9 o'clock. But for now, that's it from us. Good night.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today is Hit Music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's Hit Music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Smoking packs, quick experience from the doctor's lab. Even got that homebrew